Morning, one and all. So, we shall today start with the chapter When I Was Growing Up by Nellie Wong. I've told you in my last class that it is an autobiographical poem. Yes, before starting the poem, I would advise you to watch the video which I have posted last week. Just see it once again and come back to this video. I've told you this poem is written in an autobiographical mode, and this poem is written in first person narrative and is a subjective poem. The poet has used very simple and at the same time a very powerful language to communicate her thought process. We shall look at 5 or 6 stanzas today. Okay. When I was growing up. I know now, once I longed to be white. How, you ask? Let me tell you the ways. When I was growing up, people told me I was dark and believed my own darkness in the mirror, in my soul, in my narrow vision. When I was growing up, my sisters with fair skin got praised for their beauty, and I fell further, crushed between high walls. The first stanza. I know now once I long to be white. How? You ask. Let me tell you the ways. So, the poet, the narrator, she tells us that when she was a child, she wanted to become white. Why? And she enumerates the reasons why she decided to become white. Please notice that these lines are written in the past tense. So things might have changed now. These are all the feelings that she had when she was a child. Things might have changed gradually or in the course of time, but we shall look at it at the end of the poem. And now, why she wanted to become white? When I was growing up, people told me I was dark and believed my own darkness in the mirror, in my soul, my narrow vision. People around her told that she was dark, and she accepted it. She looked in the mirror and she accepted the fact that she is dark in color. And not only she was dark in her body, she was also dark in her soul and thoughts. So, here is a narrator who is made to believe that she is inferior due to her skin color. Racism is clearly evident here. When I was growing up, my sisters with fair skin got praised for their beauty, and I fell further, crushed between high walls. Now, in this stanza, she tells us about the discrimination she faced because of her skin tone. Her sisters, who were fairer than her, got praised for their beauty. They got recognized for their beauty. Usually, you know that Chinese people are not that dark. They are yellowish in color, but the society in which Nellie Wong lived considered everything except white as dark. She says she is crushed between high walls. Here, high walls may refer to the concept of beauty as perceived by the Western beauty cult. When I was growing up, I read magazines and saw movies, blonde movie stars, white skin, sensuous lips, and to be elevated, to become a woman, a desirable woman, I began to wear imaginary pale skin. The next reason she wanted to become white was that the magazines or movies that she read or watched highlighted a desirable woman to be white. White with sensuous lips, blonde and curly hair. You know that the advertisements or the popular culture through movies and magazines, they're always telling us constantly that white is beautiful and superior. You are successful only when your skin tone is even and lighter and brighter. And the narrator, she tried hard to be like them, to have all the privileges these so-called beauties enjoy. And thus she began to wear an imaginary pale skin, which means she simply started believing that she is fair. When I was growing up, I was proud of my English, my grammar, my spelling, fitting into the group of smart children, smart Chinese children, fitting in, belonging, getting in line. She says that she was very proud of her English grammar and spelling. She made all the efforts to fit into the group of smart Chinese children. She was making a place for herself. When I was growing up and went to high school, I discovered the rich white girls, a few yellow girls, their import cotton dresses, their Kashmiri sweaters, their curly hair, and I thought that I too should have what these lucky girls had. When I was growing up, I hungered for American food, American style scarlet, white, and even to me, a child born of Chinese parents, being Chinese was feeling foreign, was limiting, was un-American. Now, she takes us to her high school days. What happened in her high school days was that she longed to be like the American girls and a few Chinese girls who were lucky. And why were they lucky? Why were they considered lucky? She yearned for the luxury that these girls enjoyed. She was fascinated by the dresses they wore. And towards the next stanza, she says that even though she tried to emulate or imitate whatever or whichever was American, she still felt alienated and insufficient. Though born to Chinese parents, she has tried her best to become American, following their styles, but in vain. She could not succeed. So that's all for today's class. So once again, I shall summarize what has been taken today. The poem When I Was Growing Up by Nellie Wong opens with the thoughts of a young girl who wishes to be white and to disown her identity and culture and tries to fit into the dominant white majority. She talks about the discrimination that she faced because of her appearance and color and expresses her desire to be like the fair, blonde, sensuous, desirable American woman. The discrimination was so evident that she started believing in her own darkness and began wearing imaginary pale skin. She says that in spite of having a good command over the American language and American lifestyle, she was still un-American.